Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If Scorpio is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Scorpio, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. We've got a star card. You're somebody who has been working through a lot of karma. You've been doing a lot of self-work. I think that you have been trying to find your North Star. I feel like you're doing intense work right now. Meditation, prayers, self-work, psychology, healing, active imagination, astral journeying, divinations, all sorts of things to try to find your true path, And this is the great work. This is the only thing that really matters, is finding out or getting back in touch with that internal compass, that internal GPS, right? So that we can navigate by the starlight. Okay. I think you're somebody that is has a very rich imagination. I think you're somebody who has a lot of spiritual energy in you. I think you're very connected. I think that you have a lot of these practices. You probably do meditate and have prayers and rituals and, have other activities that you sort of participate in order to help generate that spiritual energy. Okay? And I think it all needs to be directed toward finding out where you're meant to go, what you're meant to do, what your true path is. Okay. The star card has two phases. It allows us to see what's going on inside of us, helps us to answer the question, who am I, right? And where am I going? Maybe you're still on phase one. The secret here is that phase one and phase two happen at the same time. The more we start to get to know ourselves, the more we realize what our path is supposed to be. We get to know our journey a little bit better. By knowing ourselves, we know more about our path, too. So let's see what's going on with this for you. If there is something that is blocking you from seeing the starlight. Yeah. I think there's an emotional situation right now for you. We have the Two of Cups underneath it all, but you got the Eight of Cups right on top there. You got an Ace of Swords back there. You got a Queen of Pentacles, but a Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords, Eight of Cups, they tend to always go together, don't they? But look at that. A Nine of Cups. The entire universe or world is out there. The Fool card is there. But then there's a Nine of Swords, too. Okay. The Nine of Swords, I think, is a positive card in this situation. Every card has light and shadow. And I think it could be that the light of this card is the realization of, the painful truth of things. It's kind of the realization that you don't want to be locked up in this Eight of Cups anymore. So the Nine, to me, feels like a correction. It feels like that moment we wake up and we realize, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be in this, whether it's a job, whether it's a relationship or a social situation or some sort of a group or a club you're involved with, or maybe it's, a family thing or whatever it is. When we connect with our internal compass, it sort of has a tendency to wake us up from our slumber and show us the really painful reality that, I don't like it here where I am. I was going to say I'm miserable, right? So when we're looking at this, we have to realize that the Nine of Swords, it may feel harsh. It may feel like Spirit is just kind of grinding us down. No, Spirit, that starlight is showing you what things you're unhappy with in life and showing you whether or not you're meant to stay here and fix it or whether you're meant to go somewhere else. Okay? And the Magician is the one that can do either of those. The Star is that spiritual energy that is creating in you the Magician, the architect of your own reality. And the Magician is very adaptable. I know we don't have the Magician card here. Maybe the Mystery card will be the Magician. But the Star card is that process that we're clearing out our blockages so we can be a clear transmitter of the spiritual light. If I know myself, I know my path. You know? And then you'll understand whether or not you're meant to adapt to these circumstances and to figure out what is preventing you from enjoying the situation you're in. If it's your job, and maybe it's a job. I don't know. I don't really think it's a job. I think it's a general uneasiness about life. But let's say it's your job. You don't like your job. You feel miserable when you're there. Is there something about your relationship with your job that's preventing you from enjoying it? Okay? But until we connect with our star, we're not going to know whether our path is here and there's some blockage here that I need to clear out so I can have a better relationship with this job. Because maybe in theory, well, it's a job I like. I should like it. Why don't I? Why do I feel why do I feel a loss of hope or loss of interest in this job? On paper, I should love it. But I don't. The Star is trying to show you whether or not you're meant to stay here and figure out what's preventing you from enjoying it, or whether this just isn't the right situation for you and you're being told to move on. I think we're a little bit scared of moving on because we don't want to be the fool out there in the world, rudderless, with no sense of direction. So in a way, when we're on the path of the dove, we don't want the Fool card. Because that would be like, well, you know what? I feel an uneasiness. I'm going to quit my job. Don't do that. Don't quit your job, right? I think the advice here with the Fool is to stay where you are unless there's some sort of, urgent reason why you should get the heck out of there. Stay where you are. Don't make any big changes until you can reconnect with your starlight, reconnect with your true self, so that you know whether you're meant to stay here and figure it out, or maybe you are meant to kind of hit the road, Jack, and, find something else, Let's select our mystery card before we get too deep into this. This is the confirmation card, bonus card. It's a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. It's the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here and put Bubo, our mechanical owl, right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If you have a prediction for this card, put it in the comments down below. Let's use our intuition. Yeah. All right, looking around the room, we've got three major arcana energies. We've got the Star showing you your path, trying to show you your essential self and where your spirit, right? Your divine essence, and where it's supposed to be in the world, what you're supposed to do, what your path is. This is who you are. This is where you're going. Okay? And this is supposed to be our GPS system. We're supposed to be able to navigate by the stars. And I think that we are having trouble right now figuring out what it is we truly want. What is it that's going to lead us to happiness? What is progress? What is freedom? What is joy? What is the true path? What is the right life for me? Am I meant to stay here and figure it out, or am I meant to go somewhere else? Wait a while before you change anything. Okay, Spirit's saying don't make any moves right now, because look, We don't have any fire energy. We don't even have really any earth energy. We've got some. We've got potential paths over here. This is potential earth energy. This is all of the earth energy, right? This is the entire universe. And this is earth energy too, but this is looking at the past. This is looking at past earth energy. Okay? So no fire, no earth. What we have is water, 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 air, air, and air. Okay? Water and air, heart and mind. We're feeling about how we think. We're thinking about how we feel. We're trying to figure it out. And I think that your heart and your mind are just kind of going in loops. We're sort of ruminating on our calamity, and we're not really, it's not helping us to make anything any better. So in some sense, the idea here is that thinking and feeling is not helping. Because no matter on paper how good this was supposed to be, Ace of Swords, this is the best job, this was it, this was my path, this is my truth, this is my mission, everything is all good, I have figured it out, solution, 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 I don't need to ask any more questions, I don't need to do anything, this is it for me. And maybe it was at some point, maybe this was the idea that our compass felt like it was working, it was pointing us true north. And we got there and it was fine. But why now are we having this Eight of Cups feeling? The Eight of Cups is it's sort of this state of uneasiness. It's like we feel sick all the time. And we're not really sure why. It doesn't make sense. This is where Spirit told me to go. Now I'm here. Why do I feel icky? Right? So then we start looking at the past. We start thinking, did I interpret this correctly? Did I make the right moves? Going from this realization, taking the steps to get here, that's what the Queen of Pentacles has to look at. The queens always look at the past. Looking at the past, decisions that you made, the steps that you took based on those decisions. Making a decision is one thing, but you have to actually put it into action, right? You have to actually, move your feet. Yeah. So it's kind of almost a feeling of being trapped. Okay, with the Eight of Cups it's an 8. It's the infinity symbol. It's the figure 8. It just keeps looping back in on itself, right? So it's the feeling that any way I drive, it's like that show. What is it called? From, I think. They can't leave the town. There's these monsters that come out at night. Great show. I wonder if they're going to make another season of that. Anyway, trying to drive out of the town, somehow they just end up driving right back through town. Any road they take, it redirects them right back through the town. It's weird, right? And that's kind of the feeling here. It's like it doesn't matter what you've been doing or what you've been thinking about or feeling or any of these other, anything that you do, nothing seems to be working. Nothing seems to alleviate this feeling that you have. Okay. And so I think with the Queen of Pentacles, we're starting to look at our original interpretation of this Ace of Swords and think, did I make the right moves? Did I take the right steps? Am I really supposed to be right here? Because now we can't quite see the star because of this icky feeling. It's dark. Look at this. It's dark. It's cloudy. It's rainy. It's swampy. No matter which road you take, you always end up right back here in this icky swamp. Okay. So, of course, moving forward, Seven of Swords, it's getting more and more difficult to see that Ace of Swords that we had back here. Now, it's still there, but it's crowded by these other options. And it's kind of saying, I don't know what my true path is anymore. It's kind of this feeling of not so much being lost, but being stuck. Okay. Sort of feel like any path we take is there's resistance, there's obstacles, there's something kind of telling us no, no, no. anything we think about. And again, I don't think any steps have really been taken. I think any path that we sort of entertain doesn't seem like it leads anywhere. It doesn't seem like we're going to be happier anywhere else. Okay, so is it the idea that something is blocking us from being happy right now? Well, underneath the surface, we got a 2 of Cups. This is love. This is the feeling that you belong where you are. This is what we wish for. We all want love. We all want this kind of connection. This is the feeling that what you're interacting with is the perfect energy for you. Perfect match. You know, a round peg into a round hole. Perfect, right? That you belong here is that feeling of love, that feeling of warmth, of safety, the feeling of joy, feeling of love. It's under the surface there. It is in there somewhere, but we just can't get to it right now because of this 8 of Cups, this icky feeling that we're in. So I think we have to reorient ourselves to that star energy. And maybe we have to consider, if we're talking heart and mind here, we're not taking any steps. There's no fire, there's no earth. We're just thinking and feeling things here. Think of some things that gave you joy in the past. Think about the very best meal you've ever had. Think about the time in your life when you felt the most joy, the most happiness. Think about a time in your life when you were doing something that you enjoyed so much, you forgot all about the passage of time. What were those things? Write them down. Make a list of what those things were. Just so you don't forget them, and because you're gonna look at them again. Then I want you to find out what the common thread was in all of those things, all of those activities, all of those moments of joy, right? These things where you felt love, you felt connected, you felt seen, you felt accepted, you felt like you belonged, all these, feelings. You felt that kind of joy. Is there a common theme to all of those? Is there a disconnect between, see, the 7 of Swords is sometimes this idea of succumbing to criticism. So if we have this Ace of Swords, we have this clarity, but now we're confused. The clarity is still there somewhere, but it's being attacked. Have we lost connection with our joy, with our essential self, with our Fool, with our star, because of all of the heavy responsibilities of life, all of the sort of social pressures and opinions and criticisms of other people, and the way that we're kind of told we've got to grow up, we've got to make money, we've got to want certain things, stop acting like a child, that we've sort of over time gradually got ourselves into this figure 8. And it happens sometimes so gradually that we don't realize it. We're going to talk about the path of the serpent now, and this is where we're headed, okay? And as we talk about these cards, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. Doesn't cost anything, supports the channel. I appreciate that. I have another channel, Dove and Serpent Bedtime Stories. If you want to check me out over there too, you are, of course, warmly invited. 9 of Cups. This is joy. This is abundance. This is fulfillment. This is joy and pleasure and fulfillment and satisfaction, physically, financially, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, creatively. All aspects of your being, right? This is happiness. This is the happiest card of the tarot. There's nothing really wrong with this card. You know, every card has light and shadow. Hard to find shadow in this one, right? This is your general energy. This is what we want. Once we realize what the blockages are, once we realize that maybe we've been succumbing a little bit too much to the societal pressures over the years, building up gradually giving us all these other paths that we're supposed to take, that we've sort of lost sight of our true north. Our clarity has gotten a little bit cloudy with these two culprits here, these two rascals. This is something that creeps up on us, and we're not usually aware that it's going on. But you've got this 9 of Cups. You've got this potential for absolute joy, and this is the pursuing your bliss, following your bliss, pursuing your happiness, the life that keeps on living, the dream that keeps on dreaming, the happiness that keeps on happening. This is when you follow your North Star. You connect with your essential self, and you stop listening to what everybody else is saying. You listen to what the star is saying, what your essential self is saying. And this is your life. Continued happiness, more happy, pursuing that kind of life. Every decision is geared toward what's going to bring me more fulfillment, what's going to bring me more joy. Long-term joy, short-term joy, physical, financial joy, all of it, you know. And then we realize that the sky is the limit. And we realize that there is infinite potential out there in the world. It feels as if the universe is telling you that, and I don't want to make decisions for you, and the tarot's not going to tell you what to do. And I'm not going to tell you what to do, of course. The 9 of Swords up here is you waking up to the fact that you have not been following your North Star. Waking up to the fact that you've been succumbing to, again, those societal pressures, family pressures, or whatever, that have sort of kept us in this 8 of Cups. This is the realization. This is that painful fact that, oh yeah, that's what's happened. Okay? So we have to go through this painful wake up. And then you've got to make a decision. You've got to take action. As we reconnect with our North Star, with our essential self, with our true will, our path, that star energy, we can start untying these knots. And we can figure out, again, it's whether you're meant to stay here and figure it out or go somewhere else to pursue your 9 of Cups, right? So the 9 of Swords is sort of the wake-up call that says we could be living a 9 of Cups life, but instead we're living something else, okay? The implication here is that you're going to have a fresh start, a fresh reconnect with your star, with yourself, with your true north, and it's going to take you on a new journey. But it's up to you to decide if that means you have to start finding a different job, or if your relationship is not right for you, or if the groups that you're associated with are not conducive to your joy and your happiness. These are decisions you have to make, that you and your star and yourself have to make, not anybody else, certainly not me, and certainly not anybody else around you. No one's going to make those decisions for you, although there will be opinions. Right? This is your experience of the universe. This is your conscious interaction with everything that is not you. This is you, this is not you. This speaks to a very spiritual sort of reality here. The pure essential soul and the pure essential universe. Very, very fundamental forces we're dealing with. I and not I. Right? The spirit and the consciousness and the field of consciousness. It's all energy. It's all the same energy, but it's separated for the chance of union. And it's in this union that we experience this joy and this tremendous abundance. And so we realize that we need the Fool. We know that we need to reconnect with our essential self, our spiritual self, our pure Fool energy, and start navigating by the starlight. See, the Fool has let go of all of this programming, all of these societal pressures, family pressures, etc., etc. And we've realized the things that we've done in the past. We've realized our choices. So we're not going to repeat the same mistakes. We're not going to fall into the same patterns as before. And maybe this is the sort of the wake up, the realization once and for all. We are a fool out in space following our bliss. Yeah, that's life. Let's look at the mystery card. I'm kind of thinking, Scorpio, it's going to be the death card, your power card, showing the fundamental force of the universe, which is change. You know, that things need to always be evolving and growing, and we have to be ready to do that. We fall into these ruts, we fall into these loops like this, right? These Groundhog Day kind of things. And we need to wake up to that fact. Because a lot of the time, we're living in a Groundhog's Day kind of movie life. Don't even realize it. Okay. So I kind of think death card here. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments down below. Oh, the Wheel of Fortune. Well, that's all right. Jackpot, right? This is good. This is saying that, you know, this big wake, all this energy here, really going to pay off. That it is going to be an increase. It is going to be an abundance and a profit in your life. And it's kind of like if we feel that we've been on the bottom of the wheel, you know, between the rubber and the road, kind of getting ground down by life, all that's changing. Okay? And what you've got to do is get on this wheel of fortune. Reconnect with your star. Navigate by starlight. It's kind of like letting spirit take the wheel. Letting your true self take the wheel. Okay? And it's kind of a harsh wake-up call. And it's not easy. It's not going to be easy, but it will be worth it. It will be fulfilling. Your life will be getting better and better and better and better and better. In all aspects. See, the Nine of Cups, it's every level. It's physical, financial, mental, emotional, spiritual, creative. We're, in a very well-rounded way, growing and expanding our life, expanding our horizons. Okay? You're discovering what things bring you joy and what you want more of in life and what you don't want any more of, period. Things are changing for the better. All right. This is a jackpot. This is a win. Okay. Now we're going to do an extended reading too if you want to stick around. There is a link in the corner here. There's one down below in the video description. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please consider doing so. I do appreciate that. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.